2, and they will stop at 13 elims. Blank, almost 50% of their points this match have come through from Alpha 7. Pretty fantastic, if you ask me. Thunder Talk now pushing in as well from that western edge.
Yeah, look to push through APG. Top and Doc were able to get back up with the position. It's a cracking nade. A lot of splash damage on that bad boy.
Oh, here we are, with them being given a massive amount of circle luck to keep themselves in this one.
Wow, what a lob from Paragium. Very, very long on the nade there. But Thunder Talks get up effectively, and DXavier have nothing to say about it. 7 elims so far for the Thunder Talks. And overall, I would say the team play is phenomenal this game. I've been very impressed with maybe not the mechanical skill, but the decision making overall has been very, very good from Thunder Talks.
Xavier with 2 players now, holding off against 3, but it's Lamball to fall, leaving just Nate left. He is closer to the water, and Thunder Talk do need to move on in, move a little bit closer here as the nades continue to roll on out. This is a bit more of a difficult push now. Virtus.pro may have oversight to some of these side angles that Thunder Talk are going to want to use to approach this situation, so it could be a little bit harder. That deployable cover as well, airdropping on in, giving them that concrete barrier. Keep them able to take him down. 3 teams now remain. 4 players for Virtus.pro. They're split 2 and 2. A nade here could be dangerous. Could cause themselves to bleed out a little bit further. But this is the time that Virtus.pro are going to use to flex out. They're really needed to control Alpha 7 here. And Thunder Talk can't take shots over towards their backstop with these front 2 playing it. Virtus.pro playing on a knife's edge right now, but it's working. And a nade over the top, over towards Xing. Milky Way might drop down into the path of the nade, but the work has already been done. AJ getting taken down to the wall. And Virtus.pro have played this masterfully.
I mean, you might have a 2v2 here, though, between Alpha 7 and Virtus.pro going over towards that end game, depending on how AJ plays out these final moments. A lot of indecision there coming through from Thunder Talks. And there you go. This is exactly what I was talking about. Aragon now has to hit the deck. There is shots from the sideline. Obscure has to be clean with this one. He is not. And Malloy is providing support. Carrillo with it all down to him now in these final moments.
And he will not be able to... What's life without a little bit of thrill here as we get a little bit of a hot drop as well. Okay, down on the south side, GS and Alpha in C block. Gonna continue to scrap this one out. Let's see who's gonna get the better end of the stick here. A hop in through the window from Doc and actually finds an AKM. DBS though in the hands of D3S. That's gonna be nasty. Fortunately, Doc's down as well. And Alpha Gaming actually definitely on the back foot of this as Reefus takes a lick down the hall.
Yes. GS, not a bad start. North side, round Stalba likely. APG regress over towards GS.
Reefus with the pump action. Alpha Gaming taking a little bit more ground back under control in the long building, but they left a backstop in the cupboard there, and 2 players go down immediately as well. It's getting turned around, it's getting traded off. It's chaos on the inside here, Blank, but Alpha Gaming managing to stand tall amongst it. The push back in has worked. They are making it hellish indeed. There's Jafar now, the last player to stand for GS. Spots Reefus, ducking down behind the box and has to head up the stairs instead to stay safe. The blue zone is ticking away. It's slow, but it's there. The dropout from Jafar into a 1v1 now, and Alpha Gaming and GS still toe-to-toe in C block. The bomb action through the window. He gives them the do-si-do. Going with a little bit more gas in the tank, but you don't imagine that they've got too much more for Orangutan. It is going to be a difficult move now with 1 player left. Marso's in as well, but he's taking fire from across the way. I think that's Thunder Talk. I think that may be Regnum Kaya if they step up on that south side that they've managed to move out for an outpost with. Loxy, I mean, he spotted this cross. This is...
That instantly Doran's in as the front man from Romania. Very, very good stuff that he can bring to the table. Has always been a fantastic fragger, and now on a team that can really utilize his performance.
2 players for Wolves down. They've managed to get an opening too, but that is not going to be enough there. It seems like DXavier can't hold off these pushes. Thunder Talk and now Wolves have been able to take advantage of positions that seemed very, very strong. And with Wolves being able to pick up those 3 elims, now Geek are going to try and capitalize. 1 player does stay down. Doran is back up to his feet with a nade in hand. I'm surprised he's not going for that heal. There's that first knock, and Wolves look to hold off. in a solid fashion where DXavier could not. Coops, I think he wanted to hop out the window there. Maybe a little bit too slow. Second time's a charm, but Hicksord goes down on the sideline. 3 players fall on the approach, but 3 in response, and it's up to Doran versus Saf. And now pushing onto the outside there. Doran loses one of his teammates. They are flushed away. Opens up for the door frame, but will be blasted back off its hinges.
Safji underneath. Oh, trying to make his way back up the stairs here. Like you say, Doran, all down to him now. Nade in hand. This has to be a golden throw. And will head further down the stairs. Has one more to try and make it happen. Quick switches between the weapons. But teammates are starting to bleed out. Safji realizes he's just going to go for those elimination points. Pick those up where he can. Doran jumps out the window. Goes for a similar scenario. Takes down the entire team between the two of them.
Saf G has to go for the reload there, but he's managed to get it in time.
From their last game. Very obvious someone's in here, at least. Marth again, really not leaving Kevin alone. Despite asking multiple times, Prestige gets an off angle on it and will pick him up. As the circle moves further towards that western side, Regnum Karya get more and more of the advantage here. But I think that both Silas as well as Zedwolf know they need to have a very, very strong hold towards the south side, because this is the position that's going to allow them to take on R8 when they do eventually try and move in. But with E-Arena still around this area, that's what Silas as well as Zedwolf are definitely most worried about.
Kai can really start to leverage this.
All right, moving out, but Wild immediately finds the first shots on that one, which is a good pickup. Looking behind him as well. I mean, very, very good awareness on this one, but minimal ammo to work with. No nades, realistically, here. Orangutan still holding strong. R8 just about get themselves in a position to start sending nades, but Wild evades every single one of them. M79 out of the smokes now as E-Arena looks to move across. How is he not down? Goodness me.
Oh dear, Tourniquet takes a lot of damage as well, and it is going to be maintained on that south edge. Rectum Kaya now playing with 2 on that south side. Don't go down as well. A knock there would have been really nasty for them, but they keep it going. Loxy, close to Marth, close to Ida, close to Prestige. Orangutan still just with their solo representative as well. Just clinging on there. On the off angle, down under the bridge. Playing down in the dark. Wild somehow doesn't go down to that nade. It felt like I went off right in his ear. And Prestige strikes out towards the south side. And Silas is going to fall. Zedwolf now needs to pick him back up as Marth continues to move on over. Spots a leg, spots 2, and clocks the shot. Able to take down Loxy. Rectum Kaya faltering on their hold now. They play too timid, Blank. They haven't been allowed to do what they wanted here. And Wild needs to stay alive but can't. Another nade. And there's Amori finding the shots onto Silas. Zedwolf now the last to stand. Will give it a good go, but it's not going to be enough. Falls out and will go down. Rectum Kaya eliminated in 4th.
I can't believe Rectum Kaya loses there. I mean, they did everything they needed to do, which was to take out E-Arena, clear some space on that side, and then push over towards R8. But R8 have really been putting on a clinic during this game. Very fantastic play from inside of box compound, never straying too far away from their safety. When it came down to it, this has been a really, really good hold in terms of playing from one position to the next. Marth, oh my goodness me. I think he'll give his life for it, but you don't really care.
My goodness me, what a stylish way to close that down.
Oh, DXavier actually finding that off on the side. As they assault the position. You're right about them holding on to these spots, but DXavier, the rest of the backers coming in through thick and fast, but a good step up from Singh there.
Can't quite find the crossfire for DXavier. Now a nade in hand for Xing. There's 2 players in action on the inside here, AJ and Xing, both holding 1 door frame as Paragin. Nades as well. DXavier, they are cut down to 2, and R8 are here to play. Current lobby leaders. They want another piece of the pie, and in they go. 4 players alive on side. They push on up, and 3 players now in action on the inside. They get the res for Thunder Talk, and they get the heal off as well. This is going to be crucial, and DXavier may have a shot. R8, though, storm the gates. They are not going to allow Thunder Talk out the back here with a Molotov, forcing them to stay around, and a second knock, a third. R8, a tidal wave of force rolling on into the compound.
Yeah, this is a weird time to third party. You're not really third party. You're just entering the fray here. Warzone now available for RA, but plenty of points to pick up. A total of 5 here if they're able to make it happen. Paragin should find the Murray. The rest of R8 were not there to respond. Bit of inaction there, in my opinion. Playing on both warehouse doors, 2 and 2. But no one really ready to refrag him as he went for that nade. It's a good play from Paragin pushing up the way he did. Now it's in a 2v2.
And DX Xavier, it looked like they were on the ropes. They had one player knocked on the outside, a full force R8 to deal with, but it would be great to see an Indian team back towards one of those really competitive spots. It's been a long time before we've seen, since we've seen that sort of thing, and it would be great to have it once again. That representation would be brilliant. We'll look forward to it, but they need to hold their nerve. They're on the south side of this one. In the meantime, DRX, GS, after GS's mad dash, going to come into conflict on the edges of Severny.
DRX will just be holding the high ground. 3 players for them, GS underneath.
One hell of a broth right now. They'll have the chicken to it in a bit. That's what they hope anyway. GS moving on up through DRS as well. And it looks like there's no retribution just yet. The hop through, again, not working with the DBS. But it is going to be the drop down, turn the corner. It's going to work out. Jafar, though, we've seen him anchor these positions before for GS. Last man standing. He did it against APG. Can he do it again here? A long-range shot. Real hopeful with the DBS on that one. But puts him back behind the corner. And Arena are going to be a third party to it. Jafar still, though, moving up to the top rope. Looking to try and drop the elbow, but maybe overexposed now as teams across the way. They'll get his sightlines. That woolly hat looks mighty tasty as a point, but he's got more to say.
He's down. He's taken out. Jafar's gone. Shot from afar, very, very much afar as well. Alpha 7 up to 10 elims now. DRX is just going to give it the ghost, try and send away in a vehicle. QXZ swoop up. I think this is exactly why Arena's playing down this position. This should be a textbook Alpha 7 win, though. And one that couldn't have come sooner. I think for Brazilian fans, this is a very, very good way for Alpha 7 to save face after what had been a couple of pretty upsetting games.
This is hopefully their game to take, but never say never, as Arena still have got a shot onto this one, and the nades aren't quite connecting towards the Arena. Revo under danger, under threat here. The nades are still coming out for him. He's like a mortar turret there in the grass, but it's only a matter of time before he gets spotted. Orangutan, though, in the meantime, getting put through the mincer. Having a real tough time. Their backline's cut down to 2. The heal comes out, but Alpha 7, they're faltering a bit on their 3-man push here. Not quite as effective as maybe they would have liked. They do hold a lot of ground. That is their major asset right now, Blank, but it is all up pushing, and that is not the way to do it. One knock found, a second needed, necessary to take down Orangutan right here and now, but they're not going down without a fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is bad news. They absolutely need to keep 3 players up, otherwise this happens with E-Arena. They immediately reposition. The reason they were taking the fights on towards that high ground, though, is specifically so they could dominate over towards E-Arena later on. But I think that initial knock has been a little bit worrisome. I still think Alpha 7 has a strong chance to finish this one out strong, though.
Yeah, with just Sakura now remaining, Mormon getting that knock onto Carrillo made me worry, but there was an answer. Carrillo kind of missing that spray, but it's not going to matter. The numbers still firmly in the favor of the Brazilians now. As Guizal moves out, Sakura takes some shots, but there's an answer.
Things that kept driving them forward a lot of times. So one of the few teams I've been like, oh, they just need a second place and they can do well.
We'll roll up from R8. They've been fairly solid on their game so far. Prestige down, though, and getting flushed leads them into a 3 versus 3, actually, with the trade-off knock coming on through. Another flush over to Regnum Kai. We'll touch on that in a minute. But R8 battling now out in the open against Orangutan, and IDA7 wins out that edge. Will find another knock as well as he steps out into the courtyard, able to find a second player from Orangutan, and they are cut down to 1. Not going to be
the road there. Advantage goes to Geeke being closer towards the circle. So Talks will have to push through them eventually or wrap. Even then, you need to take your shots there.
As we see the south side rotate, DRX, they managed to get rid of Virtus Pro. And they move over towards the Wolves, and a good knock on towards Coops in the backstop position as well. That's not going to be particularly flushable as Thundertalk try and cross the road, and Ulf try and cross the road, and Thundertalk deny them entry there and get a knock over towards Geeke. This fight seems to be a little bit of a stalemate between these two teams, despite the number of nades and Molotovs being sent between the two positions. DRX have taken a lot of damage though. And they're going to have a real tough time rolling up. Doran for the spray down onto Soaz as he breaks on through. That crash line is good, and it's going to be held. Coops goes down 1 for 1. Hyunbin follows. QX set up on the hillside needs to come up big now because he's the last player to stand. The inside getting torn apart. Nobody's alive in the shack. The points are there for the taking, but nobody's ready to do it. A sliver of health on the high ground as well as DRX last hope now, trying to keep things going, but Soulless bombards the position time and time again, stopping the Wolves from flexing.
Yeah, they're doing it at this very moment. They're going to try and push over towards Mad Bulls as well as EA. This fight has been raging on for quite a while. Unfortunately for them, Mad Bulls are able to pick their player up, as are E Arena. But I would say that E Arena is now in one of the worst positions in the world. Sandwiched between both Mad Bulls and Wolves. Egos goes down, so despite his valiant defense down on the southeast side, he will not regroup with the rest of the team.
Going to find it difficult. Mormon finding it difficult to stay on his feet as well as the nades pour in from the high ground for Mad Bulls. They keep the pressure on the southwest side. And they march ever forward, seemingly inexorably, but there's teams that will try and stop him here. NC2, no substitution play for him. Let Thundertalk go for the crossing first and try and ladder up on the placements, because Geeke have to hold.
I mean, it's a good time for Thundertalks to do it. I mean, wrapping all the way around the building, trying to get to a side that doesn't have many windows. Unfortunately for you, this building has all the windows. Nate goes through, Kevin goes down. There's Saf out as well. Ragnarok last left inside the building. The Vikings are looking to decimate against Ragnarok itself, but Nerzed's still in the fight.
Oh, he's able to stand up though. Ragnarok still with a little dying hope here for Geeke. Able to find a knock. Thundertalk suffering on this crossing, sitting. Needs to get rezzed here. The player on the back as well needs to try and stay alive, stay safe. And Ragnarok can't quite weather the storm.
Sort of has to wait for a team shot here, honestly.
Ooh.
That's a long nade. That's a very long nade.
They're trading nades here, and now actually Mad Bulls are flowing around and over towards the Wolves, who have been doing so much damage to GS in the meantime. The Mad Bulls looking to keep this one under control. All things considered, this is their game, but Levi's moving up to the tree now. Spots a player, he gives the position away. Now the Mad Bulls are going to know he's here. They're going to know there's danger on the flank, and they are going to put some ordnance out his way. You can see the nades already cooking, and Flip gets taken down because of it. Pusher Low gets taken down as well. No way are the Mad Bulls crumbling under the face of Levi's. Thundertalk may be able to take this one away.
Good
my
volley.
God, this is getting crazy now. I mean, it was crazy before, but what? My God, what a close down.
They're towards the top side of the bunker there. There's a little bit of chip damage, but not quite enough. Wolves are now out, so the bunker is completely clean. Singh moves around the side where the blue is pushing. Tulika has to wrap around the eastern side of the bunker, but Levi's is there getting up towards the top two, potentially, if he could just take Tulika out. But Sighting is on the hunt.
And they will be able to find him now. The last player for the Mad Bulls is there, and Thundertalk.
A crash over towards Alpha 7. There is a potential that you're able to get something done here and slowly make the push on the east, but this is a really tough push up towards Longhouse.
Ooh. Feels like Milky Way may have wanted to go a bit further, but actually drops short, uses the car as cover, nades now. The opening salvo for Virtus Pro. A lot of damage done towards them, and that nade nearly takes him down. Luckily, the health ticking back up keeps him going. And Malloy for Virtus Pro is not here with them, still moving out around, moving up to the Labadita crater edge. But in the meantime, the rest of his team rides on in. Revo tries to hold the corridor, looks for the shutdowns, but it's not working.
By the Mad Bulls. But equally for anyone else, like, even if you take down DXAV, you're still having the situations like, where do you play after that? Kara not giving up too easily on the crossout. RA able to continue to hold here. They had information earlier from Marth going down, and with GS all now locked in this one position. Nades galore from either side, from Kara, from RA. Goodness me, that is damage pouring on.
That one looks good. No, it's just short. They continue, though, the bombardment. It seems like they're bottomless on the nade pockets here, with more pouring in, but Mad Bulls finally humbling them slightly, stepping them back off the angle as the nades bobble over the fence. CEO trying to weather it from the Mad Bulls as well. Oh, it is really difficult to make any sort of movement on this north side. Pusher for Mad Bulls on the off angle there. Actually looking to regroup, it seems. Play up and towards the rest of the team. A CEO, nice position, will get taken down. It's Lemon to claim the point, and that is now 6 teams remaining.
Just the 6 left now. OG actually making it over towards the northeast side here. Good wraparound from San Martin. And La Bandita. Now looking over towards Xavier, but Flip finds
there for OG. Now they have to push in against Xavier. This is a really difficult bunker to hold, though, because nades do so much against you. You can see, oh, okay. I'm surprised that one didn't tag on. A little bit of cover found somewhere. Some concrete outcrop helping them out. Still got a couple of nades to play with. Doc on the off angle. Looks like OG know about it, though. They are wary of the angle. Nobody really on that south flank other than him to find it. And the shots are connecting. But Wizcott is looking good to try and find the knock. The Doc repositions. Oh, he steps back into the spray line and nearly goes down because of it.
Wizgod going to send straight back up again. Knows he needs to pull the pin on the grenade now because he has to keep Xavier at bay. Another strong grenade over the top. Lambor last remaining alive inside of this bunker. And now they look further towards Levi's. And again, more res is coming through. They see Mad Bulls off in the distance. OG looking for even more on this game. Up to the top 4 now.
Mad Bulls are the bigger threat for OG right now, but he's just launching an aid over to Levi's. Doesn't connect there. Some cover still found. That is a crazy push, you're right, but somehow goes unpunished. Mad Bulls more preoccupied with getting those reses. There's 3 players still alive here. The Molotov sent to the sky for Aru. Trying to slow, and he pushes. The nades continue to roll over the top. That looks like it sits under him. No, it's not going to go off in time and won't be able to connect either. Somehow Xavier surviving these nades. Everything being put their way. They're stepping out. They're moving.
They're just keep them at bay, though. This is the big thing right now for OG, is that as long as they can keep Xavier stuck inside these tunnels, it makes their end game a lot easier. They just need to control RA on the sidelines, but you just hope they don't put too much attention here. If they get that done, now they know they need to move in. This is a good setup of vehicles from Xavier. There's a player behind, hidden away, looking for the flush. Wizgod goes down now. AKOP needs to find Paragin, who's been holding a cheeky angle for so long, and Levi's will finish them off. Dear me, what an angle from Paragin underneath the vehicle. That is a sneaky maneuver.
Oh, you just never expect it. That is so brutal for OG. Paragin makes it work, and now Xavier have time to... Nope, they're not going to get that third player up. Okay, they didn't go for that res. The play zone was pushing. It is this last stage, and Mad Bulls now with an option to maybe take a chicken dinner here on our first Miramar. Levi's the last...
Yep.
It's easy to get caught up in the thrill of it all. That Impala drop's looking a bit dangerous, though. I think Tulika might think better of it. Go back with the rest of your team, mate. You've got Puerto Paraíso to go to. But no, he wants to get stuck in. In the meantime, Orangutan scrapping it out over in Chumacera. At the moment, they found Reefus. I think that's the only player in that location as well. Going to be difficult to get this one back up for Alpha Gaming. And a nice little pickup. Keep that ball rolling for OG. They are currently in 4th place. And they're going to add that extra point to the tally, make that 40. Nice, clean round number. And that's where we said we wanted to see teams at the end of a single day, right? Over that 40-point threshold to look safer to going towards that 7th place.
Yeah, Thunder Talk's in a really good position right now at 57. OG just breaking that barrier of 40 is perfect for them going into tomorrow. They just need to keep up this kind of pace. Again, I think for OG, coming into the first day and getting 40 points is a really, really big deal, especially for India in general, because typically...
It's got to be fairly we're looking more and more likely as time goes on. We'll put it that way. As we said, towards the middle of the day somewhere, can't remember exactly where, I'm expecting that bubble on 7th place to be around 110 points. Could be a little bit more, a little bit less. So getting up to 40 points will give you 120 points on average. And that's when you're going to start to see yourself nice and safe. So the further you go over that metric, the better. But at the moment, Alpha Gaming, they want to get off of last place, I think is really the name of the game for them right now. Because it is not where they want to be. And losing a player early is not how you start that one out. Bad news bears for Alpha Gaming.
It's so hard to talk about this team in general, just because they change so often. I mean, overall, today's gameplay has been pretty poor. Let's be honest. Right? I think everyone can agree that Alpha Gaming hasn't played fantastically well today. And I think that it's a sad. Wow, that is a very nice shot. What the? Okay. With the scar as well. I mean, it's really impressive. Actually, insanely impressive.
Yeah, we got to play well answers. So there you go from Mad Bulls.
Gotta give a 100%, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna give 110%.
Give 100%.
Loads of points.
Yeah, just lock it down. Lock it down. Pretty good teammates.
Got to try really hard.
Get those wins. That's what I'm talking about. Again, is the difference between OG's interview with AKOP and that interview with Tulika, which is a generalization game. You know, I much prefer to hear the real thoughts. But I suppose, you know, being able to play with your friends on a massive internet, and they'll be forced to play out the rest of the tournament, just because I'm not feeling it right now. I really am not feeling it. And I think that tomorrow there's potential at like a 22-point game for them. But even then, it's not enough. Sitting the team down from Regdom Carrier. What a play that was. The 180 flick.
It's definitely going to be able to be... It's resable. It's super resable here. Virtus.pro get the point, though, which isn't great for DRX. They're not happy about that one. But they're happy that they can survive for a moment longer. ESO, though, wants to change that. Is the DBS going to find the range? Not quite chewing through him as he wants it to, as 4 players roll around the ridge, and they are going to take him down. ESO not so lucky there.
I mean, great, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm glad to see the DBS not come through once again. No, it was so good before, but, you know, that is the problem with the DBS at the moment. It's just a little bit inconsistent. Much like DRX right now, as Virtus.pro continue to bully this team. Starting to flow over towards the top side. Voston finding one. Milky Way is down, but Aragon, Malloy, and Moston are still up and available and could look to clean out this. Jafar is just sprayed. Let's see what they get done off the back of VP's push out, but it's pretty good. Takes down Flip at least. But Wolves are still getting more points off the back of this one, and teams are parting ways with their players. Left, right, and center. That's a nice nade. Little bit short on the pitch.
Does get spotted. Not too sure who that's from, but I think it's the Wolves. There we go. Virtus.pro, you can see they will get locked in at 39 points now. Alpha 7 now. Potentially at risk of dropping out, but very unlikely here. Unless, well, the Wolves jump up nice and high, but it will be around that 40-point boundary today. To be 7th place. DXavier with the 1 Elim. They've been quiet in the shack for a while now, but they're going to need to do more to hold off Kara on the western side.
DXavier still sat strong with inside the shack. And again, you know, getting themselves a nice shot from Paragen. I mean, that is a very, very difficult angle to make work, but that's going to delay in a nasty way as well, John.
Definitely difficult terrain to be moving through now. Kara, CEO, looking to heal before the move. They don't have a lot of time because the zone's going to start to close in 3 seconds. Poser's ankles have been spotted. He's dodging out the way and he's sprayed out. They aren't quite connecting with it in any sense when they go out wide. A lot of ammo already expended on the spray down towards the player behind the buggy, and they're up close. They haven't been knocked yet, but there's still time. Levi's down first, but there's the trade from Nate. 1 for 1. The Wolves move in as well. Marceau moving into the high ground on the off angle. Just Paragin on the inside, but the burn is on. It's Coops to do the damage, though, as the Wolves claim the lion's share of the points here.
I mean, Wolves just getting a lot done off the back of this, but Kara, 7 elims on the game, up towards a top 3. That is a really big result for them. Not quite the chicken dinner that maybe they were hoping for, but it's still very, very good. Thunder Talk looking for the second chicken dinner of the day. The Chinese team who came in today looking fantastically strong with some very good coordination, now looking to drop down a shower of thunder upon the Wolves.
And we'll see if they can convert. Really solidify themselves at the top of the tables. The Mad Bulls wanting to get pushed aside here with Thunder Talk already claiming enough points to surpass them. How much further can they go to lock in their top spot? Kara as well looking to finish their day on a high after a lack of point scoring so far. They'll want a little bit more. And the Wolves, they've been fairly middling today. An entrant from every angle of the tables to close us down.
They know it towards the Wolves now. Kara off in the distance, still attempting to lay down a curtain of smoke to keep them sails safe in between. You can see here so much utility being expended, but most teams now lacking on those smoke canisters. Kara taking damage. CEO last left alive. A little bit of damage done, but Wolves now stay alive with all 4 players. Nasty nade on the outbreak from Thunder Talk. Coops goes down, and now a 4v2.
A reality check from the top of the hill as Thunder Talk able to find 2 almost immediately. Sighting now in the smoke, running around. Here's Higgles on the off angle, looks to give them a good fight.